What's good, big dog? This your boy Dre, and this is Samurai Kennels Wednesday Night Live. This is one of the most interactive lives you're going to see on YouTube, especially in the dog community. We are the home of the Neo Dogman movement, a movement which is dedicated to the development of better animals through building better people. We are the home of the Digital Dog Show, the Online Obedience Challenge, and a host of other competitions that allow us to get out and compete both physically and with the knowledge about these dogs. Our goal is a positive image movement for the dogs as well as the uplifting of righteous and just men.
Welcome to the pit where the Bulldogs reside. Wanna kick it every Wednesday we live. Cost you nothing, smash the like button, subscribe. I be in the back with the chat, then my guys, members, backstage, you get a surprise. Schoolboy coming through, dropping dimes right on time. Walk 'em down Ram, cool as a fan. But if you try to scam, won't go as planned. We live by the code, that blue shoot old. Every Monday night, kick it with that solo. There go JT, represent the D. Facebook jumping like a Oak Cliff party. There go 601, gang by the ton, yeah. If you tune in, might get you some. We be the show, but he be the gun. Hell no, we ain't no wimps. It's pimps over Sims. Bites so intense, grabbing dogs through the fence. But anyway, what's up, Big Dre? Heard what they say, drill instructors don't play. No, they wasn't born, they were made that way. Trust me, I talk to them every single day. Now what did I forget? It's back to the script. Oh yeah, Digital Dog Show too legit. Biggest event to benefit all participants. Why you missing it? Big Ace signing out, Shogun paw print.
What's good, big dog? It's Big A and Dre. What's good, Big A?
Hey, what's happening, man? You know what it is. Back in here like I left my wallet and keys, man.
All right, man. Yesterday was the last day to register for the February Digital Dog Show. We got our entries in. We'll be airing that next Saturday on our live. I've decided to start going live on Saturdays, so, early in the morning on Saturdays, man, like them Saturday morning cartoons. You get up there, get your laugh in, see some good Bulldogs, maybe hear some good talk, maybe learn something, maybe teach something. But Saturday mornings is where it's at, bro. Also, I want to give a shout out to special shout out to Brother Crockett, Brother Dickie Foster, Brother Heart and Finish, Pelican Bay Kennels, Track Life Kennels, and a slew of other people who have started to do what I've asked y'all to do, man. Those of y'all who are sharing the videos and making sure that we get out the algorithm, man, I genuinely appreciate that. And this show today is going to be it's going to start off with balance versus purely positive dog training. I'm gonna give y'all the why behind that. Then I'm gonna roll the American Pit Bull Terrier into it because, like, why not? And then after that, man, we break down whatever y'all want to break down and cook on whatever y'all want to cook on, and I'll give y'all just some of my personal thoughts on the March Neo Dogman movement. Big A, you got anything you want to chime in on that before we do roll call?
Yeah, man. We just finished our first season, man. And that's a real blessing, man. Like we completed it, did the first dog show, man. We got the next season coming up. Man, season 2 gonna be even better, liver, man. And like I say, it's gonna be live and man, it's just different now. We got the digital dog show coming monthly, payouts, man. Like it's it's time to get these dogs to working, man.
Yes,
And
sir.
showcasing skill.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man.
Let me go ahead and do this quick roll call, y'all. Y'all know how we like to do it. If you're new to the channel, man, and you ain't used to the roll call, flash off, come back around the 10-minute mark. We'll be fully deep into the conversation. Other than that, stay tuned and get your shout out, man. Comment to get the shout out. Heart and Finish Kennels in the building. Salute.
Yeah. I know you got the gas to go, but do you got the heart to finish, man?
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Heart and Finish and Elevated Kennels, they've been racking up them show points this year, and they're gonna keep racking them up. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the year, when I make my list, you know what I'm saying? And y'all know I do the top show, the top dog, the top kennel, and the dog man of the year. You know what I'm saying? So last year I learned some things, and this year I'm moving differently. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're not in the Shogun universe umbrella, right? You know, they got the Marvel MCU. If you're not in the Shogun universe umbrella, man, like I'm not checking for you. That way I keep it with the people who I'm gonna deal with, who deal with me. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. But shouts out to all those brothers participating. Shouts out to all those brothers that don't have dogs but still come and support the brothers who are showing their dogs, because that's what we want to do. We want to put these dogs in front of people that appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? It's some people that don't like the dogs right now, but seeing y'all do what y'all do with y'all dogs makes all the difference in the world. Salute to you.
Yeah, man. And shout out to South Bottom, man, for putting that work. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And thank you, South Bottom, for sharing the dog show coverage, man. We appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Brother Dickie Mother Loving Foster in the building. What's good,
man? Hey, if it ain't a show unless Dickie show up, man. That's a fact.
Dickie. Speaking of that, back in December, members, I told y'all I was going to select a member to gift a T-shirt to. This month, for March selection, is going to be Brother Dickie Foster. Brother Dickie, historic dog that you like, and I'm gonna pull it up later on in the show, man. Just remind me to pull up Brother Dickie. But if there's a historic dog that you prefer, a specific bloodline, let me know so I can design a shirt for you. Right now on our website, the only historic dog I have on there is a Chinaman T-shirt, other than like pictures of my dogs. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a dog specifically that you want on your T-shirt, it'll be a customized T-shirt. You know, we want to get back to y'all. Like members, you know, on PBS they say this show was paid for and sponsored by members like you. I'm talking about members like you, Heart and Finish, Student for Life Dog Training. Man, all the members, man, salute to all of y'all, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate you, because like, hey, I'm not gonna lie, the members are the reason why I went at while we were running in the dog show. That y'all memberships, y'all views, they help us pay for the food for our dogs, man. So we appreciate that. Genuine.
Yeah, definitely do.
What you think about my little jacket I got on this morning, man? What you think about that?
With the flannel?
Yeah.
Man, that remind me of some old school. That remind me of the old school days, man. Yeah.
Walmart special, baby. Walmart special.
I was just about to ask where you get it from now, because that remind me of that old school stuff, man. That's back in the day. Yeah.
My granddad used to have one like this when he would go out there and feed the chickens. But,
man.
Let me get back to this roll call, man. There's some great brothers in the chat, and I want to give all of them their shine.
Yeah. RPG, Lone Wolf, man. Yes, you know what I'm saying? It's about the wolf climbing the hill. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about the wolf at the top. It's about the climb, man.
Send him over the wolves. He'll come back leading the pack.
Lone Wolf. Yes, sir.
Brother Croc Bull Kennels. What's good, big dog?
Hey, what's happening?
Quick FC7. What up, big dog? Salute.
Hey. Yeah, Tony Montana, man.
Montana in the building, man.
You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your finger and say, that's the bad guy.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, man. If y'all don't already know, but Brother Tony Montana has a channel, man. Go check him out. He be spitting his videos in English and Spanish. There's no reason for you not to get the message. Salute to you, man. Tony.
And speaking of Tony M, man, I got some games from him back in the day.
Tony M and Tony Montana, different people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tommy and Tony Montana. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the channel. Yeah, I done got a whole bunch of games from back in the day. You know. Yeah.
And y'all can't see this. This is not beer. I mean, it's 7:30 in the morning. I'm not drinking alcohol in the morning. This is actually bubbly sparkling water. Brother Big A put me on the sparkling waters, man, and I've been drinking them ever since, man. So
Yeah, that's my beer fix. That's my soda fix. That's all of that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Dickie Foster with a 2-piece. Tip, tip.
Hey,
Hey,
that's what
let's
I'm
get
talking
it.
about,
Let's
man.
get it. Man, Dickie, a member, and Dickie, a member, and he be cash apping and doing shit, man. Like, we appreciate that, bro. Genuinely.
Yeah,
Genuinely.
we got that
Um,
Viking royal family in the building, man. What you know about that Ragnar, man?
hey, Big A, hold it down real quick. This is Big Hill. Hold it down real quick.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Royal family, man. Salute, salute. Mrs. Williams, salute. Yeah. Thanks for the support. You know. Oh, who else we got? We got Mr. Garcia, schoolboy, man. The legend, the one and only. You know what it is, man. Yes,
Pause. Hold up.
sir.
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Let me stop you right there. Okay.
Okay.
Schoolboy, I know I called you late the other night, man. Happy belated birthday, Mr. Garcia, man. If
Happy
y'all ain't
belated
Mr.
birthday.
Garcia, happy birthday. Now is the time to do it. Also, Mr. Garcia, if you will, please put your cash app in the chat. Please do that for me, Mr. Garcia. Please do that.
Yeah.
Man, Schoolboy, you done showed way too much love for me not to support you, man. Like, hey, do that for me, Mr. Garcia, please.
Yeah.
Let me send Big Hill a link. He said I sent the wrong link.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Y'all know we just doing the build up, man.
Hey.
We're gonna get to it, man. The training thing, I'm gonna cover that real fast. That's a real fast topic because
Hey. Yeah.
we got some communists in the training community that's trying to take these dogs out, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to NWA Kane Corso, man.
Oh
Kane
man, Brother Joe in
Corso.
the building too.
Kane Corso.
And we got Dog Man TV this morning, man. I feel
Dog, man. Man. We got to come with it, bro.
Big Hill, he called me out in the chat talking about so you sent me the wrong link, bro. Hey man.
Yeah.
Oh, hold up, time out. We got another Crop
Hey.
Gold with the $2 tip. You know what I'm saying? Tip.
Hey.
Let's get it, bro.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
We are cooking. Yeah, man. Whatever y'all donate this morning, man, we sending it straight to Mr. Garcia, man. Okay, look. So wait, hold on. Joe with a two. Joe, you ain't have to do that, bro. $2 tip, man, you know what I'm saying? Hey, tip.
Hey.
All right, y'all. So
Man.
do me a favor. Okay, don't send me any more super chats today. Anything you're gonna send for a super chat, I wanted to go to Mr. Garcia for his birthday, man. Like, y'all don't understand, bro. Like, Mr. Garcia is one of the only old school legendary dog men that even gave me the time of day to sit down with me and explain things to me from his perspective, bro. So, Mr. Garcia, I just want to say thank you genuinely, man. And I will send you the link if you feel like coming on here in a little bit. I want to cover the dog training thing first, and then I want you to get on here if you want to say anything or cook, however you want to cook, man. You already know Schoolboy, man. Like the panel is always open to you. But
Yeah.
let me go ahead and set it up right now, man. You know what's crazy? I'm supposed to be going to the casino tonight to go gambling, man. With my coworkers, we had the promotion to E8, and one of my coworkers got looked over, so we're gonna go to the casino tonight and get right at the casino, man, and lose even more money, you know. But
Yeah,
that's the
man.
life of it, man. That's the life of it, you know.
Yeah. And for a schoolboy, you know, like legend, but like, you know, when it comes to schoolboy, man, like uh I would much rather get information from schoolboy. The way he it's not the fact that he knows it all or anything like that. It's his delivery. It's his delivery, his patience. You know, schoolboy is, you know, special to the community, man.
Yeah.
He's
A
definitely
treasure,
special to the community.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? If there's a Mount Rushmore of dog men of my mentor dog man, Schoolboy
he's
is
up there.
yeah.
Yep, he's in mine
And let me
without a
not
doubt.
forget Bo. You know what I'm saying? Schoolboy and Bo, like, man, y'all don't understand. I know I do things that irritate y'all. I know for a fact I do things that irritate y'all. And y'all talk to me about it offline. Hey, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But look, all right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play some, I'm gonna play some background scenes or whatever for y'all, just get some visuals. I'm gonna give y'all this information about what I'm talking about with the communists in the game, and then we're gonna get into the American Pit Bull Terrier dog talk, for the day. All right,
Roger
so
that.
this is what occurred. All right. There is a dog trainer by the name of Zach George. And yes, I'm saying names today because y'all need to understand what's going on right now.
Put an address on it then.
Zach George trains with what's called Purely Positive Dog Training. All right.
Okay.
And he put a post on Facebook, and that post on Facebook was addressing the AKC specifically, right? So boom, he got me. He got me with the clickbait. All right. And basically he was saying that he's sick of these big corporations and companies and kennel clubs not pushing for purely positive dog training, right? So what he was saying was that the dogs that he sees should never have a prong collar, should never have an e-collar, shouldn't be biting on sleeves. They should only be using treats and toys and positive reinforcement training. And he's saying that shame on all the entities, and he's going to push for it. He has a massive platform, by the way. So he's pushing for legislation that bans pretty much balanced dog training and any form of aversive. And aversives are just like corrections, like, a pop on the collar, you know what I'm saying, a pop on the e-collar, prong collar, choke collar, things that working dogs, it makes it much more efficient. I'm not going to say it's the only way to do it, but it makes it way more efficient for working dogs to be able to operate. Even some of the working harnesses we do, the weight pulls, he's against that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's, to me, this guy is I don't mind his idea. I mind how he's going about it. He has a communistic approach to, like, hey, you have to train and do things the way I do them, and I don't respect that. All right. So I'm gonna attack the subject, not the person. But with a platform as big as his, over 3 million subscribers, this guy has a lot of influence on lobbying and getting things his way, right? So I have to make y'all aware when this stuff goes on, just like they were trying to ban the dogs over in Australia, like they were trying to ban working dogs in general in Australia. I had to bring that stuff up because if we don't talk about it, man, it'll get signed. It'll be a silent bill to get signed, and it will throw you right under the bus. And it doesn't stop with the prong collars, e-collars, the chain setups, kennel set. He thinks the dog should live in a utopia. They should roam freely in your house, in your yard, and just be just pets. And while that works for a very, very selective type of dog, it does not work for all dogs. So I was provoked. You know what I'm saying? He triggered. He got exactly what he wanted out of me. He triggered me, and he made me have to speak on it. And you're welcome, Mr. Garcia. You're very welcome. And so I bring that up, and I want to explain to y'all, for those of y'all who may not train, I'm gonna break it down really, really simply and get through this portion really, really fast for y'all, so we can get to the better talk, the conversations that we want to talk about. All right, but so with purely positive dog training, for those of y'all who don't know, purely positive dog training means that the dogs, right, the dogs that are being used do not get any kind of aversive, no stern corrections, no raising of the voice, like things that you probably do just naturally, just managing a dog, whether you train or not, right? He's against all of that. That's, to him, animal abuse, all right? And the positives of purely positive dog training are this. If you have a dog that is timid, shy, or, he's against working breeds, Tony Montana. And if you have a working breed dog, that's probably not going to work. All right, I'm gonna just be real with you. That's probably not going to work. If you have a working dog, you're not gonna get the what I'm looking for. You're not gonna get the results you want. I'm trying to multitask, y'all. I'm still trying to get Big Heel in here. You're not gonna get the results that you're looking for, that you want. And so, man, how do I share this?
Yeah, man. And so the thing with that, man, is each dog has a different personalities, demeanor, let alone what the breed specifically was bred for. All of that plays a big part. And I would love to see, the military and police canines do 100% positive training and tell me how that comes out. It just that's like it doesn't mix. That type of training can work, but you got to have the amount of patience and time that you have to have invested in one dog, and then getting the dog prepped up and ready for whatever working task the dog has to do in a reasonable amount of time does not make sense with 100% positive training.
It
I
does
would
not.
definitely, yeah, I could definitely see 100% positive training with, a non-working breed, a more laxed, not as energetic and all of that stuff, and it's strictly a pet. I mean, strictly a pet, and 100% positive training seemed like that would be for the Karens, you know.
Yes,
And
sir.
good
Yes,
luck.
sir.
Good
Big A, I
good
gotta
luck with
pause you
that.
real quick. Big
Yeah.
Toy, just 1 second. Okay, so brother EQ sent another $10 super chat, man. Tip. Hey, what I'm
Hey,
gonna
they
do is
showing up.
for the rest of the
Hey,
show, all super
they,
chats are redirected to Mr. Garcia. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep
yeah,
it on Mr. Garcia for his birthday. His birthday was this week, man. We want to celebrate you, Mr. Garcia. If nothing else, man, I saw the picture with you and your lovely wife, man. Do something nice for y'all, man. Do something for y'all. This is you know what I'm saying. This is for y'all because we love y'all.
yeah,
We love y'all.
yeah, man. For real. Big Hill. What's going on, bro?
Hey man, y'all sent me to the wrong door. I had to run. I had to run. I had to run, jump over stuff, everything. Dre, hey, open the door. I'm here though. I'm here. I'm here.
Hey, Big Hill, I want to say, man, hey, like, bro, we need more of your show, man. Your stuff, man, your show be entertaining, bro. It be
Shit. Thanks
entertaining.
again, bro. Big A. You already know, Big A. It
Yeah,
is what it is, bro. It is what it is.
You was cutting up in Bo and nonstop chat the other night too.
man.
I know, right? I know they wasn't talking to me. Dre, they ignored me, and it was all gravy though.
You said talk to me nice. You said talk to me
Uh,
nice.
yeah.
All right. So look, brother Crockett with another 5-piece. Tip. Hey,
Hey,
Mr. Garcia,
man.
your phone should be like blinging right now. You know?
Hey,
Hey,
man,
bro, these days, man, these brothers, hey, I'm trying to tell you, they cutting up. My brother Elevator Kendall just came in the building. What's good, big dog? Salute.
hey,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Elevator.
Salute.
Once I get done with this cook up, man, I'll be kicking the link over to you, Supreme Mr. Garcia, and anybody else who want to come through the panel, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. But yeah, so pure positive dog training. I got off track because Big Hill confused me. But pure positive dog training, it works for a certain kind of dog. And being a military person, let me put me up real quick. Being a military member, I work with military police dog handlers, right? And so they would laugh at you. They would laugh in your face, right? And I work for the government. Okay, I'm a federal employee through the U.S. Air Force, and they would laugh at you if you came to them talking about purely positive dog training. They would laugh at you. Those dogs get walking around with a 2-inch collar or harness, or like a working dog Kevlar harness, and guess what's behind that? A prong collar. Okay, like they would laugh at you because that's literally written into our AFI, so Air Force Instruction Manual 1-1, how to train and manage the military working dog. These dogs come from the KMPV lines. We import them between 6 months in a year or breed them in our kennels, and they immediately get home to homes to be kind of like socialized. We have selected families we socialize the dogs with, and in a year they come in and it is blitzkrieg because you have about 4 to 5 years of working time from the time you get them trained. So the goal is to get them fully up, a completed dog, by a year and a half, 2 years. At 2 years, they're in the field. You know what I'm saying? They get all their certifications there in the field. But with all the jumps, the bites, the things they're exposed to from airline transport going overseas, like you got maybe 4 to 5 good working years out of that dog before it's retired. You don't have time for purely positive dog training in that regard, right? And for all the people like me who believe that they are part of a civil militia as well, I want my dogs ready to go and be able to give me a full life of working ability from that dog. So I'm not against purely positive dog training. If you got time for that, if you live on 50 acres and you got room that if your dog decides to roam one day and you can't yell at him to get him back because you don't want to disturb the dog's peace, do that. If that's what you want to do, do that. And I'll even tell you the guy's book. Mr. Zach George has a book called The Dog Training Revolution. It's all about purely positive dog training. But over here, we do what's called balanced dog training. We use purely positive training at first to teach them, okay, I'm going to give him a treat once he sit. Okay, he knows to sit now. So now he playing with me. Now this dog is trying me, just like kids. Now he's trying me. Now I got to give an aversive or corrective action. That might be a pop collar. That might be raising my voice. It depends on the hardness level of the dog, right? And then once the dog gets really good, then I put the e-collar on him. And at a distance across a football field or something like that, I'll say, come or sit. And if he doesn't respond, I'll, beat buzz shot to force him to realize that I can reach out and touch him from a distance. And after a couple of months of doing that, you don't even need the e-collar anymore because the dog thinks that your voice is what causes the aversive. All right. So I can just raise my voice to a certain tone, say what I said without the e-collar, but he believes that my voice is what makes the e-collar actuate. All right. It's a timing thing. So it's purely positive. Once he knows behavior, I bring corrective actions when he doesn't do behavior, and that's it with balanced dog training. All right. I just want to put that out there. So if you decide to comment on his post, whatever, if you go look into this post, you can go over here educated on what purely positive is versus balanced dog training. And I'm gonna pass my mic to my brother.
Yeah. So and like one thing that I always say about training, man, is never a right or wrong way to train. It's what works and what doesn't. So in certain situations where I've used without even noticing it 100% positive training, but it might be for one small particular task that is so easy that you don't need anything else. But when you're dealing with a dog as it matures and as it gets older, the dog especially if you're spending a lot of time with your dog and you working with your dog, if it's one thing that a dog knows time. A dog, if you feed a dog at the same time every day for 5-6 days in a row, and the seventh day comes around, and at that very time that you feed that dog, you don't feed that dog is going to start acting funny. It might be up under you. It might be, doing something because it knows it's that time and things aren't happening. So when the dog starts to mature and you have certain tasks or certain things that the dog knows it's not supposed to do, and the dog does it, knowing at a mature age that it's not supposed to do that, then how are you supposed to correct that? You know what I'm saying? How are you supposed to go about it? Because there's multiple ways that you could go about it. It's tons of ways that you could go about correcting a dog. But how are you going to correct a mature dog that knows better? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a lot of things that in different situations and circumstances where you have to use different forms of training, and especially when you start talking about the breed or breeds specifically, each breed has try that with a oppressor. You know what I'm saying? That is known to be dominant and challenging in the household. Try that. When the dog is mature and it knows better. It's a lot of versus you doing it with a Chihuahua. Things are I don't know. It's different.
Look, y'all know I think I can train a little bit, right? I went to a friend of mine that is a old school dog, man. I'm not gonna put his name out there, but he has a belt. He has a leather belt he keeps in his shed, right? And I've never seen him use the belt. I've never seen him use the belt. Let me put that disclaimer out there. I'm not a witness to anything. I don't know. But all I know is if his whole yard of 30 dogs plus is going off and he goes in that shed and gets that leather belt out, he can say, go in your house. And every dog in the yard will go into their dog house. And they be peeking out. Let me see if I can pull me up real quick. They be peeking out their dog house, looking around like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, as a trainer, I don't know how he did it. I can assume.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I'll tell you right now, as a trainer, I can't even do that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
it worked. He didn't have to use the belt when I was there present at his house. We was just sitting outside and smoking and joking, and they got real loud, because they were excited. He was outside. It was early in the morning on a Sunday, and he shut the yard down with just emotion. And I'm certain, even if he had to use that once he made that correction, and I'll break it down. He explained it to me. He said, I only had to use it when I on one dog. The other dogs saw it.
Yeah.
The other dogs saw
Yep.
the correction and were like,
not me. It ain't gonna be me. Yep.
Now let me put that into humane terms, because I know a lot of Karens that watch this channel are not gonna get this. I was a drill instructor for 4 years, okay? And so we yell at them, and part of the teachings we get for yelling is when I yell, when I'm in their face and I'm going in, I'm hand in their face, spit flying out, all kind of craziness, right? Every other recruit hears the correction. Every other recruit hears the correction, and guess what they typically tend to do? Not do that. I'm not, whatever that was that got him that, I'm not going to do that.
Yep.
And so it's a very, the psychology behind it is very, very sound to me, because I've seen it in an application with both dogs and humans. And so the brother that asked what I'm smoking, this is Sour Effing Fab by Geek Bar. It's a nicotine vape. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. No, I totally agree. That's what I was saying about, that by the time a dog matures, it has already uh dialed in your routines as to how you move, what you do, everything. Dogs are very smart when it comes to that. Just like I was saying with the feeding and all of that stuff or whatnot. So when they notice routines and they see things and they see you do a correction, they take note of that. It is noted. It is forever sketched into them. So that's something that they definitely see. I've even seen it on little shorts and stuff on social media. Like somebody will grab they got a little stuffed animal that look just like the dog, and the dog won't do nothing. They pick up that stuffed animal, beat the dog shit out the out the stuffed animal. Then the dog look at them, they be like, not me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, y'all. So I just got a quick info note. So I just got a text message from my I can't even call him my mentor, man. This my brother, man. This is from Apache Kennels, right? And for those of y'all who know, Apache Kennels produced the dog that produced Saki. Apache Kennels Cabezon Knucklehead. He just had a litter of 10 puppies. They are
Damn, 10.
rat bred to his dog Maya too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Salute to you, man.
Salute Apache, man.
Yeah, man.
Salute.
Toya, you got anything right now, or did you want to mention it, or?
No, I'm riding. Y'all cooking. Y'all keep driving this spaceship, man. I'm riding.
You got any puppies available? Because I've been getting messages about puppies, so I'm letting people know.
Hey, if
I got,
anybody, I'm telling y'all right now, if anybody really want to get a puppy, man, that is one puppy you might want to be looking into.
Yeah. And so let me break it down for y'all how this breeding stuff works. If Mr. Garcia comes through or Elevator comes through, I'll explain this to you as well. Okay, so for us, those of y'all who follow us closely, y'all already know that would be a line breeder for us, because we're 3/4 on Bacardi, 1/4 out on Cabezon Knucklehead. So if you got one of those puppies that is a 3/4 Knucklehead dog, like, you ain't even got to worry about studying or having a bitch to breed to, because like that's the kind of people we want to get to and keep the bloodline tight and keep it right. I like what I see. These dogs coming out of Pitt Island and Mr. Joe Woodall's dogs, the Jeep Rat Boy Rascal dogs, and the characteristics of them, they're typically white with black patches. Very, very hard mouth dogs. They're really, really quiet. So like when they're like like you gotta be careful with them. Walk them too close, and you think the dog is not gonna do anything. He'll hit the end of the chain spot and grab a dog if you're walking by, because they don't do a lot of barking. So for those of y'all who live in neighborhoods, these dogs are super quiet. My Frisco blood is where my barking comes from. But the G-Bray Boy Rascal stuff, they're very serious dogs. They very, very serious dogs. Almost scary. They're so calm when you walk up to them on the chain spot. You don't know what they're going to do to you. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just want to put it out there. You don't know what.
Hey, you remember when we went to Apache house that one, and I jumped in the little cage with Knucklehead. You looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah, yeah, man.
You was like, you petting him? I'm mid petting them and stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, did I just mess up? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hell yeah, man. Heck yeah. Hey, Mr. Garcia, I'm gonna shoot you the link, man, real quick. And if you want to come on and just say anything to the community, I'm certain they would love to hear from you specifically. We wanted to just celebrate you this week, man, and get it out there. Hold on, my Facebook act is stupid, but I will get the link there, man. I will get the link there. But yeah, man. Apache got puppies right now. Elevated, if you will, Postman, and I'll get you on here to talk about it. I think, did you just do a breeding? And if so, is anything available to the public? That's another reason why I don't like telling when people got litters without asking their permission, man, because some of them don't want it public. They want to keep their private stock. They want to evaluate their dogs, and then if they decide to, after evaluation, to let y'all know they got puppies, and they'll let you know on their accord. So I'm very, very careful about releasing that information. But Apache, I'm messaging him now. He said it was acceptable. So that's why I told it. Some people their breedings are already gone when they do them. That's another reason why I don't like to mention it. Brother Crockett, if you have any of those puppies left from that litter that you had, man, feel free to post the pin, and we can share that with the community, and make sure that you can kind of see who's in the chat, see what they talk about, and see if they're even worthy of your animals. So.
Yeah, man. Man, if anybody really looking for a dog, man, you might want to get one of those dogs. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I do like them a lot, man. And
yeah.
I'm genuinely pleased with what I received from them,
Yeah.
Hey, Miss McFarland in the building.
Wifey. Yeah,
Salute.
Yeah. Showing up late. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, hey, look. Hey, I gotta give it to her, man, because when I came through, man, like, y'all held me down. I was sick and everything.
Yeah.
Hold up, y'all. Yeah. Mr. Garcia just pulled up. Mr. Garcia. Oh, he's getting stuff together. He's coming.
Supreme. That should tell you. Hey, Garcia, happy birthday.
Thank you. How's everybody doing?
All right, Supreme. That should tell you to pump the brakes when you can't spell and stuff like that. when you don't know how to spell and stuff, like, man, like, pump your brakes, man. Like, come on, man, pump your brakes. And you got work to do, bro. Like, you keep coming at me though. You keep coming at me like, I don't know what make you think it's easy work over here. Like, Slim, you got a whole lot of work to do before you get to me. I'm not even gonna entertain it. I'm gonna let you go. I'm watching you to see if you handle your business, but you ain't handling your business. And learn how to spell, bro.
Yes, Mr. Garcia, welcome. How you doing, man? I had let my brother Big Hill get his rocks off.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for the donations, and salute to the panel in the chat.
Yes,
Thank you, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Hey, they are not donations. They gifts, man. They are gifts.
Well, thank you for the gift.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Garcia, back to the dog training thing, right? So I told a story about my friend with the belt. Do you know any dogmen? I also had a dogman friend that had an SK, and he used it to cull, right? And he could pull his SKS out of his house, and his yard would get quiet. Do you have any stories about anybody who had like a large yard where they had something they could do like that, where they could shut down the whole yard?
Yeah. My friend, 60 dogs. When he'd go out to feed, they were quiet, and all day long they didn't bark. How he did it, I don't know. I know he started when they were pups. And if somebody made a peep, he'd call their name and tell them, hey, hey, Bobo, cut it out. They were all quiet at feed time. And he fed, he feed one at a time. He was slow. So he put the food, put the supplements, go feed the dog, go back, another one like that. His kids would help him too. So it wasn't fast. It took a while. But 60 dogs like that, quiet.
Man, that's like some hours.
Yeah. But you just raise them that way.
Yeah.
People, this is the way I look at animals, right? They're here for us. All kinds of uses. They're here for food. They're here for work, for sport, for protection, companionship, service dogs, animals, horse racing, bullfighting, pigeon racing, greyhound racing, hunting dogs, catch dogs. That's what they're for. People always use that word humane. What's humane? Humane to who? It's how it looks to us.
Yeah.
That looks cruel. That looks wrong. You're forcing the dog or forced to do that. You ain't forcing nothing. You can't make an animal do something it don't want to do.
Yeah.
So any sporting working breed, that's what they're bred for. And most of them will naturally do it. Or with a little encouragement, they'll do it. And some training. You have to be hard on them sometimes, yeah. Nobody gets away from what the public calls mistreating animals. Even if you're a vegetarian, just because you don't have your hands on it doesn't mean thousands upon thousands of animals, insects, bugs die for you to eat. So I don't get it. Because and it's just the way I was raised, and it's just the way being around animals, different animals, and having them for certain uses that I realized that's what they were for. So cruelty is cruelty, and cruelty don't get you anywhere with a dog or cat, anything. Yeah. But a firm hand sometimes, a firm voice, training, positive reinforcement works. But there has to be some kind of correction. And how does an animal know you're correcting it if it doesn't go through that method of doing it?
Let me add this to that, schoolboy. So how does a mother dog correct her puppies? It ain't pretty.
She nips them. She hits them with her paws. She pushes them.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
That's a mother's love. So
right. Yeah. Well, it's especially with mammals, right? Because some animals, they don't. Most animals will protect their young to a certain point, but mammals it's a different thing with mammals because they feed off their mother. The mother takes care of them, whelps them, or whatever, whether it's a horse, a dog, a cow, pig, whatever it is.
Right.
So why is it? That's a good point. Why is it okay for the animal to correct their young, but we can't?
Right. And I always, there's something that I used to always do is just watch pups interact with older dogs and the mother and father. And the mother and father correct a little different. Like I noticed with more so when a male is being aggressive to correcting a pup, if it's not seriously trying to injure the dog, it usually hovers over the dog. It will correct the dog and stand over the dog, and
right.
You see the dog's the pup's tail curl or whatever, and that lets it know it's submitting and it's understanding the correction. Now I've seen male dogs damn near kill a dog, and those dogs can't really be around pups, but I've seen the male dogs do corrections, and that's how I usually do my pups anyway. I try to mimic the mother and father how they correct their pups. That's how I correct my pups.
Yeah.
Right. One thing that I do with pups is that I noticed with pups is the pups usually always end up on their side of their back. So when I correct them, I flip them on their back and I'll put my hand on their neck and I'm not choking them or anything like that. I just apply a light pressure, and
Yeah,
the
that's
tail curve. Huh?
yeah,
Oh,
that's how they correct,
yeah, yep, that's
right?
exactly how.
And a male generally asserts his dominance. That's why he stands
Yeah,
over him. There's
yep,
body
yep,
language. There's vocal
yep,
sounds they make. That's you see that in gorillas. You see that in elephants. You see that in dogs, cats, horses.
yeah,
Right. The mother's a little bit different. And
yeah.
sometimes the mother is rougher because she has them from when they're small, real small.
Yeah, and you
You know.
notice the mothers start getting rough when they start to teeth,
Yep.
because
Yeah. Right. Right.
that's where she
Yeah.
starts getting a little. That's one thing
Yeah.
that I've learned is just that's where I really learned the majority of my puppy training is from the mother and the father.
Right. Right.
Just watching them and how they go about handling it. And
Yeah.
I've done it. I've corrected a pup. I sold a person a pup and they had a pup and they were staying in a hotel room and I had to go over there for something and the pup was acting all crazy and stuff and I'd already corrected the majority of the litter the same way and I went over there and I grabbed the pup, I put the pup on its back and I applied a little pressure to the neck and the pup sat there and stayed there the entire time that I was there, didn't move, and it blew like the dude's mind, like, how did you do that? And it's just like I haven't learned anything that somebody has less
Hey,
necessarily taught me, but I've learned it strictly from the mother and the father watching multiple litters.
yep. So, what
Amen.
age do you think that human correction should be entered into their life? If we're
Immediately,
breeding,
As soon as they're born.
Yes.
yep,
immediately.
I agree, 100%. I agree.
Yeah,
When they're
yeah.
small, because if
Me
you're
and my
gonna
stuff
if
them
you're
will
gonna
know their
raise it, if
name and
it's
they'll know
gonna
how to
be
sit.
around you.
And another thing is like depending on the age that you get the dog, like um correcting a grown dog that you've gotten, as a grown dog is completely different than correcting a pup.
Yep.
So, just having, I don't know, it's not even common sense because you would have to have experience, knowledge, and understanding to really know the difference between, how to, and then, I mean, ultimately, I think the more time you spend with the dog, the better experience it's going to be. And a lot of people don't spend a lot of time but want so much out of that dog, and it doesn't work like
Right.
that.
Right. Well, they want to please you.
Yeah. Oh, they
And some
definitely
some of
do.
the training is manipulation.
Yeah.
Some of it
Yep.
is positive reinforcement. For example, if let's say my dog is going off on another dog, right? I don't
Hmm.
never tell him no. Just because of
Right.
what I used to do with them in the past. I don't tell him no. I encourage
Yeah.
it. Or I keep
Right.
my mouth shut if
Yep.
I'm in public,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And
So so
kind of work that leash with your hand a little bit.
yeah, I mean
You'll
as
be
long as
encouraging them without
yeah,
being verbal about it.
yeah. I used
Yep.
to do it at dog shows too. And
Yep.
and I would there's a picture of me, you'll see me standing there with the kneeling with the female. I'm on one knee,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if people have seen that picture. And she ended up
Yeah, I
being
like
a
that picture.
show champion. So what I did with her was, I would have her calm, and then when the judge would get close, I'd whisper something to her. I go psst, psst, like that, right?
Yeah.
Or I'd kind of pinch her skin a little bit by her rib cage, right? And it would set her off. And I did that repeatedly, so it was like a signal for her it's okay to act up. And it's
Yep.
just to impress the judge, right?
Yeah.
That's something we
So,
were talking about on the last show.
yeah, yeah. Now, if my dog's acting crazy, just sitting there acting crazy, it's not behaving. I don't say anything because it don't look right.
Yeah.
But real quiet on the side, if she's like that, when she would behave, and then I could send her, set her off, and then calm her down afterwards. You know.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of it is manipulation, A lot of it is positive reinforcement. I very rarely told my dogs no. And what I would do is just control the situation. Because to me, telling them no in that type of action goes against what I want them to do.
Yep.
So
I'm
you
I'm
know,
100% the same way as that. I'm
yeah,
100% the same way. I hardly ever correct my dogs, ever. The
yeah,
only thing they get corrected for is over barking, excessive barking.
yeah, yeah, me
Other than
too.
that, no, they and like I don't know. I don't make it a habit to give and take things from my dogs either a bunch. You know what I mean?
Mm,
I don't want you to be able to take things from them easily.
yeah.
You know, I
And
can
then
get anything from them.
for example, my children, when they were small, sometimes the dogs would jump on them, right? So I would have them walk up to the chain area with a stick, and and I got this from Pavlov. You know, everybody knows the Pavlov theory. So they walk up to him with a stick, dog would jump, they tap him on the head and say no. You do that repeatedly, and then you get to the point where you don't need the stick. You just raise your hand and say no. And then you get to the point where you just say no, and the
Yep.
dog wouldn't jump on them, right? And
Yeah.
most of mine didn't. They understood they were children. They're small. But some of them, you know, they just get excited. They want to interact with the kid. So I would go through that process. And if you
I,
hadn't seen that process, they just tell the dog no and it don't jump on them.
Yeah.
No, there's a way to go about it, you know?
I
Yeah.
got a half a fishing pole that I cut all the eyelets off of, and I use
Yeah.
it that same way if I'm wanting to train them something. And I believe it's because it gets them with a correction, like a physical correction, with the end of the stick when you're tapping them or whatever, not beating them, tapping them, like to get their attention, like you would with your hand. And I believe that it gets their attention because you're not too close to overstimulate them. As if you get closer trying to teach that, they're getting like overstimulated because you're giving them what they want.
Right.
You know, I definitely
Yeah.
believe that. I do that too with my daughter.
Or something like a horse, they're so big. I've seen people, and I know people. One of them is a person I interview a lot, and a certain breed of horse. They're real high strung. They're violent, so you got to correct them harsh and bring them to their knees. And then it gets to the point where you don't have to be that hard on them.
Yep.
But the reason for that is, how you ain't gonna pull on the reins or hold them down, or a horse, they weigh 1,000 pounds. So to the outside looking at people outside looking in, man, that's cruel. No, they weigh 1,000 pounds. How are you going to correct them? And these horses not only will kick you, stomp you,
Yep.
rear
Kill
up
you.
and land on their back, they'll kill you.
Yeah.
They'll bite you, they'll whatever they got to do.
Hey man, a horse can bite hard than a little bit, man.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll bite your
and
face off.
what happens if we don't correct them same horses that already have that behavior for multiple generations because it's cruel, and then they're way out of hand?
Yeah.
There is no,
Well, somebody's going to get hurt, and people have been killed by horses. And
Yeah.
I've seen man biting horses.
There's
Yeah.
And the
probably
trainer-
more
the tra-
deaths by horses a year than there is pit bull terriers.
Oh yeah.
I'd about bet.
One was a man biter, and they brought a trainer in. He couldn't do nothing with him. At the end, the horse bit the trainer in the face, and they just put him down.
Hey,
Yeah,
so I had
man.
my shepherd that I had. He wasn't food aggressive with people, but he was food aggressive with other dogs, right? And when I introduced another dog to my house, I went to move his food bowl, and I guess he was just so used to growling at the puppy he was correcting that he nipped me, man. He didn't break skin or anything. And I'm gonna tell you right now, my corrective action, if I could have caught him, I was going, man. You know what I'm saying? He pissed me off that day. I was gonna make sure he never did that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correction needs,
Yeah.
and I say that because the correction needs to match the action, whatever it is you're trying to correct.
Yeah, just gotta.
If I had one do that to me, I'd grab it by the collar and I'd hold that some bitch to the ground until it quit moving. I'll sit there as long as I want to, just like Caesar Milan would. Like they'll realize that you're the dominant one.
So this is the thing, everything that everybody is saying is just showing that it's multiple ways to train or to correct a dog. It's not about what's right or wrong. It's about what works and what doesn't. And
Yeah,
that, to
in
me,
certain
that's the bottom line.
situations.
That's the
Salute,
bottom line. You
salute.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got one that's nippy right now. I got a female that's real nippy right now.
And you mentioned getting all the dogs to be quiet. So in my old yard, I would say wanted to raise cane and stuff. I go out there and make them hush, put them in their barrel, physically just put them in their barrel, get in there and hush, and then I would say hush, right? I don't say shut up. I don't say none of that. I say hush, and they can hear that really good, anyways. And it's not easily to confuse that with anything. So when you start doing it, and then and then that changes to where, say, you're a football field or two away from them, they're raising hell. You can say shh, and they'll go quiet.
Well,
Yeah, they
hey,
can hear you.
what were
Hold
you
on.
saying, Big Hill?
Will was talking, y'all.
Yeah, that's what we saying, Big Hill.
I was saying I got one that's real nippy right now. And I don't want to correct her like real harsh either.
I can't
So
hear nothing.
can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Now we can.
All right. So basically, what I've been doing, like when you put your hands by the dog, if you know they nipping like that, I advise to ball your hand up when it's around their mouth and stuff like that, and try to put your fist up against their cheek and stuff like that, and try to rub them with your fist first, just in case they try to bite you. You don't want to catch a finger. That's just some advice.
That way it's a less fragile object that
Yeah,
might. That's a good
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well,
Man, I got my finger bit one time recently. Ooh wee.
yeah.
Man.
Well, with pit bulls especially, you can correct them harshly, and it really doesn't affect them. I've rarely seen pit bull that you correct harshly and then it turns on you or scared of you or tries to bite. They act like after it's over, they like it ain't nothing. They didn't.
Yeah, like you'll correct them, and immediately they just demand your love.
Yeah, they're okay.
It makes no sense. They're
Some of them,
short-minded.
some of them are like that, but sometimes you got those ones that they be on that borderline of you got to be real careful with them, when
Yeah.
you know what I
I
mean?
I've seen some dogs get broken, get ruined, you know.
Yeah, you can do that. You can
Yeah.
if you repeatedly harsh on them like that. Just that's where it gets into cruel,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
when you're breaking their character down, that's cruel.
But you got to know that
yeah,
though. It's just like your kids. Like some of them can handle harsher punishments than other ones. That's all I'm saying.
yeah,
Like that's all.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'll be. This may not sound right, but if they can't handle it, I don't want them. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna keep them.
Yeah. Hey,
That
y'all,
just,
Yeah.
that's
I want to
just,
do a quick plug real quick, y'all. What you see on the screen now is DMV Flight Nannies, stress-free transport services. That is the one in the DMV is run by my brother, Stony Williams. And so I wanted to put that out there because the other thing that I want to mention is y'all were saying when you're correcting American Pit Bull Terriers, but this is what he just sent me this picture this morning of a dog he's transporting. This is not an American Pit Bull Terrier right here.
And that's your brother?
Yeah, that's my brother. He's
That's
transporting. Yeah, he flies for American Airlines, and so
Okay.
and so this dog right here probably could be corrected very, very soft, and it would give you the illusion that you can use purely positive dog training if you don't understand what the real American Pit Bull Terrier is. And I just wanted to interject that while y'all was cooking, man. And I'm gonna yield the floor and get back out of here.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Different types
pit,
need different corrections.
yeah,
That's
pit
the best
bulls.
way to put it.
The thing with them where they're different is they travel a lot. They might have 2 or 3 plane flights in their life, 2 or 3 different owners, different atmosphere, different seasons, different, food. They're very adaptable and they're intelligent, but they have to have that type of constitution to be able to do that. If you're passing the dog around, this guy's conditioning them this time, then that guy the next time, and you're sending them. Before they used to send them by train. So, it might take 15 hours to go 2 or 3 states just by train. And they're in a crate. And they're up in the cargo area of an airplane. They hear all the noise. A lot of animals, it's going to freak them out. But pit bulls, it doesn't usually bother them. And I just think that comes from having a long history of doing that with the dog. Different owners, all that stuff I just mentioned.
Yep.
So they're resilient and they bounce back fast,
Yep. They're worked a lot, like next to 4-wheelers, and they're out in the fields.
Yeah.
And that's why they're good with most vehicles and stuff too.
Mm-hmm. You shoot guns around, even when they're injured. They usually don't mope around and they, and act like, they're going to die or anything like that. They just accept it.
When I moved up to this new place, my neighbor he shot his muzzleloader one time, and they barked the first time, but every time he shot it after that, they ain't made a noise. I guess they just know that that's all right.
Yeah, they
like
get
the
used
first
to it.
few years, they were raising hell at the fireworks because I lived in town. And last year, they didn't make a noise. They all just laid in their dog houses. They were good. I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
Mine, they hear a siren or fire, they start howling and going there.
Yep.
Mine didn't do that either. They didn't care.
Mine do howl at sirens, but I got to blame that on my old Chinaman dog I had.
Yeah.
She was the first one to come up here and did it. And then now every dog I got, if they hear a siren, they'll howl like she did.
Well, like you guys were saying earlier about the corrections, when the other dogs see it, they usually go along with it.
Yeah.
And it's even the same with my teeth. So I would let the young dogs see me train condition older dogs, and they would just take to it real easy. They wanted to do it too. And they could watch what I was doing with them. And then they would just fall in line. It wasn't really, I had to teach them or coax them or, anything like that. So they're very observant.
Say, I want to chime in on that topic right there. So with my dogs, to get them to do bite work, one of the first things I did was I took them to my buddy. He has a ranch in up near San Marcos in New Braunfels, and his presses and his shepherds. I had the litter that Saki was born in. I just put them in a crate and let them watch the other breeds of dogs doing the work. And when I got home, they took to the sleeve immediately.
Yep. I used to do that when I was schooling my dogs. That young dogs watch them. I put them on a crate up on a bench. They get the idea. Okay, when it's their turn, they just go to it. So you can do that with a lot of different. I'm speaking of the past, of course, but you can do that with a lot of different things. They'll emulate the older dog because it's all, everybody lives together. You're there with your dog. They're all in the yard, and they want to be part of the group, or they're part of the family, however you want to look at it. So they'll just go right along with it.
And sometimes they might be doing it out of their competitive nature.
That's part of it too.
Trying to prove to you that they're good.
You sound like a young bulldog today, Mr. Garcia. How you feeling over there? You feeling younger today, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm feeling younger.
I know you is.
Yeah, thanks to my wife. Thanks to my wife.
I know that's right. Yeah.
Whoop whoop. Yeah, man.
Yeah, because after 45 years, we know each other so well, and we don't even hardly argue with each other. We don't we take everything with it just okay. That's what it is. No thing. There's a crisis. Okay, we've been through this crisis before. Let's take care of it.
Yes, sir.
So
beautiful thing.
Hey, at what point does the arguing stop?
When you realize that it's petty and it doesn't really matter, it's not going to make a difference. And whether you think you're a man and nobody can talk shit to you, or you're a woman and nobody's going to boss you around, It's petty shit. So basically how we handle it is, we have certain responsibilities. If I tell her to take care of her responsibility, she's not going to argue. If she tells me you got to do what you're supposed to do, there's no argument. I should know that already. And she does her job, I do my job. But we don't be thanking each other all. Oh, thank you for putting food on the. No, that's what you're supposed to do. If you're the head of household, if you're the man, like people say they are, you're supposed to pay your bills, feed your kids, take care of your wife. She's holding the fort down. Don't get involved in that. Let her do her thing.
Yes,
So
sir.
a lot of our arguing is just a bunch of joking around. It just I use humor a lot in our relationship. That's the reason she married me. Anyway, that's what she told me. Because I told her one time, why'd you marry me? I ain't handsome. I ain't got no money. I don't have no skills. She goes, you make me laugh. I said, that's good enough.
Cool. Hey,
That's it. I'll take it. I don't care.
Hey, and it's funny you say that because I used to, when I was in high school and college, man, I would tell people all the time, I'd be like, there's two kind of guys you want to keep away from your girl. The ones that are funny and the ones that can sing, man. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
Hey,
You're
listen,
right.
Dre, you don't want if any of y'all young guys ever get in an argument with your woman, man, let her win, man. You don't really never want to win a argument with a woman. You don't never really want to win it. You're not even gonna feel good. You know what I mean? So basically, let them get that last word, man. Just my advice, man.
Noted.
That whole not feeling good about it, that's the reason I don't really harshly correct my dogs at all. Even if you do it, if you feel they've earned it, if you over harshly correct them, hell, it hurts your mind more than it even does him.
Yeah, you don't want to feel bad afterwards. It's like
no.
if you spank your kid and then you're sorry for doing it. Well, if you're going to be sorry for doing it afterward, don't do it in the first place.
Yeah.
But if you have to do it and you have a reason for doing it, then you should understand that, and the kid will eventually learn to understand that too. And the corrections with your children become less and less. If you do it when they're younger, you won't have to do it when they're older.
Yep.
And that's why you see a lot of kids, they talk shit to their parents, and I know people, they fight with their kids, fist fight with their children when they grow up, and that's because they didn't handle it when they were younger. You don't want to be arguing or fighting with your child when he's 18 years old, 15 years old, 19, 20, like that. That's bullshit. You didn't handle it before. So I don't have none of that kind of relationship with my kids.
You should be.
And I'm not an asshole with them, Oh yeah. Yeah, we get along. We see each other every day. Everybody hangs around. Everybody knows everybody's business. I don't hide nothing. My phone's out. My wallet's out. Everybody got my PIN number and my email, because I don't take care of that. I don't care about none of that shit. Let them handle it. It's a headache off my, off of me, because they'll take care of it, all the technical stuff, and I don't have to do it because I'm lazy. So,
when I was young, I was
the way around.
When I was young, I was disciplined, right, and I was always honest, and I would be overly honest with my mom and stuff, and she never really worried about me, but because I would tell her the truth, what I'm doing. But then my brother, he'll hide everything. You don't know nothing going on in his life. Nobody does. That's just how he is.
Yeah.
And she's always worried more about him. So it's just, I don't know. Discipline is very important. Proper discipline. And like when you do whoop something and you feel bad about it, that's when you know that you crossed the line from discipline to something else.
Yeah. And like I said, if you do it when they're young, then it's just when they get old, you just stop. Hey, you're screwing up. Hey, stop doing that. Hey, what's going on? You got a problem. Let's fix it. What do you need? How can I help? Like that. Because they mature, and they're going to have kids of their own.
Yeah. And most of the time, if you apply discipline in one part in their life, it'll go through to other things.
Yeah, just like anything else, work ethic, like that. All my kids work.
Yep.
One of them's very educated, but they all work. They all exercise. They run marathons. They'll go out and run 10 miles in the heat, 100-degree heat. You know, they do calisthenics and lift weight, all this stuff, and the grandkids too. So they're active in a lot of stuff, and you instill that in them. And I give a lot of that credit to the dog because they were raised with the dog, so they see what the dogs do. The dogs don't quit. I'm not going to quit. The dogs get out there and run and exercise. They get tired and they keep going. So that's what I'm going to do. You're just an influence. Whether they understand it or recognize it themselves, that's where a lot of it comes from. And what the parents do too. You know, their mom is a workaholic.
When you're raised around dogs like your kids were, schoolboy, that whole never quit mindset is so ingrained in your heart that you can't even help it.
Yeah. My daughter the other day, she went and got a Shih Tzu. So she got one. Her daughter-in-law got one. Her son got one. Son and daughter-in-law, and then her other daughter got one. Right, and they're playing around, and she goes, "Look, Dad." She goes, "See, mine. He whips the other one. I got the game when they got the cur Shih Tzu. There's a cur." Yeah, I know how to pick them. Yeah, Shih Tzu. You know. So yeah, it sticks with them, and they just won't. They'll figure it out, and that's part of what I try to instill in them. You know, you'll figure it out. You have a problem, I tell them that girls go through this. You know, they yell and this and talk and keep going and going and going. I just tell them, hey, you're gonna figure it out. You were raised a certain way. I ain't gonna worry about it. And then they'll come back the next day. Oh yeah, I figured it out. I got it. Hey, it wasn't shit, Dad. I got it. Yeah. But that's just the process they go through.
And the dogs, as an owner, you know, you just can't be a lazy owner and just get to beating on them. You got to use your brain and find out what's going on with the dogs, why they doing certain things, why they acting certain behaviors and all that. It's easy to beat them. If whatever you're doing, just make sure you try to use your brain sometimes. This is like when we talking about the kids, like a lot of reasons, a lot of times people went straight to the belt to whoop the kids, but a lot of times you gotta dig deeper than that. You gotta just dig deeper than that. Just beating them all the time is not going to work all the time. So that's like an easy.
Here's a question: which one's better if you're going to whoop a dog? Should you whoop it with your bare hand or an object like a belt?
I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm sorry I even said beat the dog like that. Excuse me.
Well, we use the politically correct words to correct them. I'd rather use my hand.
But one to the law is worse than the other. That's my question. Which one is accepted by the law?
So I can't speak on that.
I believe it's an object. I don't believe it's your hand.
But I can say this. A lot of corrections that I do are non-physical at all. Like the majority, I would say 99.9% of the time. Like for me, I bonding with the dog itself is it's a treat for the dog. So if the dog is consistently doing something that I'm trying to correct and it's not working, then we not spending time together.
Yeah,
you know, and for me,
a lot of it is redirection.
Yeah.
So like I was speaking earlier, if they're going off on a dog, I just remove them from that situation.
Yeah.
I don't tell them nothing. I don't say no. I don't say shut up. Nothing. I just remove them from the situation.
Yeah.
If they're paying attention to something, and you can get them to pay attention to something else, that's redirection.
Yeah. You know, and also you know, like it's separation and food. Those two things right there have more weight that people give it to the dog. You know, the dog's extra food aggressive. Well, guess what? You ain't eating. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna eat until we can get this together. Every time I gotta feed you, or you get around other dogs, and it you know, something happened, ain't no food. And after a while, like I've done it to the point to where I've seen the dog looking at me throw the food away because you ain't eating, and then the dog be like, damn. The next day the dog act different. You know, sometimes it takes longer. A lot of times, man, you know, sometimes when dealing with the dog or whatnot, and my thing is bonding. Bonding is one of the top things, because if I can't bond with the dog, I really don't want the dog. So if we bonding real tight, the dog wants to be around you. You messing up, you got to go in the kennel. You know, and
Yeah.
that alone is like that's one of the that's a harder punishment for the dog than you will believe. You know, little things like that. But like I say, I learned a lot of things that I learned from the mother and father how they handle the dogs. And the one thing that'll make me go off on a dog is if the dog eats my food. So that get because it's pack structure for me. You know, like that's one thing. I can sit my food down on the floor. Right now I can sit my food on the floor and leave, and my dog's not gonna mess with my food. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, but it understands because to me, I'm the alpha of the household. I'm the alpha.
Hmm.
You know, the dog has to look at me to go eat and do the whole nine. And I make sure that my dog, eats,
Yeah.
tip top and everything, well taken care of and everything. I don't mess with your food, don't mess with mine. And other than that, the dog could bite me, and we good as long as the dog wasn't coming at me to bite me. It's probably my fault because I put my hand in the wrong situation or something like that. So that type of stuff isn't important to me. But when it comes to the pack structure, you get out of line, then that's where it plays the part, for me.
Yeah.
And
I
correct.
think you're right. I'll give two examples of what you just said.
Hmm.
It was a real good dog. He had won best in show,
Hmm.
and he broke RC and the So-So Boys unbeaten streak of they had 18 wins and 2 draws. So he was a
Hmm.
very good dog. So his breeder sent him out here to another famous dogman competitor. He got the dog. He was already grown and been through all that. He got the dog, went to feed him. The dog tried to bite him. So he took the food away. He did that for
Yep.
3 days in a row. After the third day, he could feed the dog, and the dog never
Yep.
tried to bite him. So to what
Yeah.
you're saying, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to beat the dog. He didn't have to yell at the dog. He didn't do nothing. He just went to feed him. Dog tried to bite him. Okay,
Hmm.
took the food away. Went out the next day, did the same thing. Went out the third day, did the same thing. The fourth day, the dog was good.
Yeah.
The other
And
thing about
see.
eating food, I'm the same way. That we had one dog, my grandson who has autism, actually raised him, and he
Hmm.
got him to where he could give him little tiny bits of food, and the dog would just, real easy, just take it out of his mouth. So
Yeah.
anybody in the household could take the food, take a piece of your sandwich off, and just give it to him. Most dogs will
Yep.
grab it out of your hand, or they get real excited. They're just calm and mellow. And
Yep.
it's just
Yeah.
that, however he did it, it helped the rest of the
Repetitive,
family because anybody in the family could do it. He
probably
would
being
even get
repetitive
he
and
would
being
even give him a
consistent.
bite of his sandwich and then take a bite himself. He didn't care that he was sharing with the dog. But the dog
Yeah.
would take a little nib of his sandwich or burrito, and then he'd take a bite, and back and forth he passes, and the dog just sit there calmly doing
Yep.
it. So
Yeah.
So through repetitiveness and him being so calm and simple with it, it
yeah,
probably got that dog to doing it. Like Mason,
yeah,
I could tell him sit, and I could have a little piece of something, and I could tell him easy for 100,000 times, and he would eventually get to where all he does is his lips quiver, and I'll be like, Mason, easy, and he won't even. He knows he's really smart.
yeah,
Like, and then
yeah,
we got an inside bully, and man, she's awesome with my daughter. Awesome.
yeah,
She
yeah,
don't mess with her food. She don't do none of that. Like, it's just
Yeah.
through them handling her, being good with them.
Yeah.
When they're raised around them, they're naturally good with them.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I think they understand that they're children.
Mm-hmm.
So my dogs, a lot of times they jump on you. They get so excited, but most of them they wouldn't jump on the children. They'd be real coy around them, put their
Yep.
head down, wag their tail, and the kids could do basically whatever they want. In fact, the grandson I was just telling you about, that same black bitch that's in that picture, he would have her stand there for an hour, 2 hours, and he'd pour dirt on her,
Yep.
all on her back, all the
Yep.
way to her head, put dirt in her mouth, and she would stand there and do it. And then he'd knock it off and repeat it over and over and over again.
I remember doing that with my dad's dog, Panic, when I was a kid. I covered her. She was white, and we covered with that red clay dirt. And she'd just stand there, man. But
Just
she was
stand there.
vicious. Like, I mean, she was a
Yeah.
game dog for real. But she'd let us kids do anything,
Yeah.
anything.
And then he would also, instead of hooking the collar up to the lead up to her collar and walking her around like that, he would just grab her by the ear, hold her ear, and make her she'd go wherever he wanted to come, like that.
Yep.
Instead of using a lead, he used her ear. So he figured all that by herself. She went along with it. She understood he was handicapped, and it's amazing. I never see, and she would go off, like if there was another dog, she would go off. If he was standing there, she would avoid him. She wouldn't bump into him or knock him down. She would go all around him. And then he'd tell her, stop, like that, and then she'd calm down.
Yeah.
So it was something to see, man. I couldn't do that with dogs.
Yeah.
I had an American bully. I had an American bully that he was protection trained and stuff. He was a pretty well trained dog. Like he was a good dog. And he was built right too. He wasn't one of the little stumpy American bullies. He looked like a pit bull, but he was just buckskin with a blue muzzle. That was the only difference. But other than that, he looked like a pit bull, like my Haywood dog. And I could get something in his mouth, like a tug toy, and I'd walk him all the way down the road, all the way past. I would walk him down the sidewalk on Allen's Creek, where dump trucks would be passing by, and he'd have a hold of that, and he'd never let it go. I had an e-collar on him too, so he'd just hold on to it, and we'd walk. That's how I walked that dog a lot.
Yeah,
he just liked it. He done really good.
Speaking of those collars, you guys were talking about them earlier. I don't see a problem with them, but again, it's how it looks to the public.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to shock them, and you got to do this, or you got to prong collar or something like that. Again, if you abuse it, yeah, that's cruelty. But if you use it to correct them, pretty soon you don't need those collars. You're doing it by voice and hand commands. And but like I said, it's how it looks to the public, just like a chain spot. Oh, they're on a chain like a slave. No, that's the best thing for them. It's better than a kennel.
So not every dog can be e-collar trained as good. Like some of them.
Right.
You would probably have to take a step. Like if you were going to use an e-collar on one of them crazy dogs, you'd probably have to prong collar it first and like teach it how it works in the house, and then take it out and walking around the yard. And it would have to get used to that because it couldn't just pull. A prong collar would hurt a dog if it just pulled too hard. But then you could, if once it understood corrections like that, you could probably switch to the e-collar and correct it easy. I don't know. What does Dre think about that?
Hey, so as far as that goes, man, with the e-collar, like I said, for me, I was taught e-collars used for finishing training. The dog already knows the behavior, and this is a dog that you might have hunting or off leash, and you need to be able to make that correction without being able to physically control the dog with a leash, right? So the e-collar doesn't come into that dog is pretty much grown, right?
Okay.
And then also, I wanted to dive back to something that Toyo had said. He was saying like you got to pay attention to the dog before you make the correction. The biggest mistake I ever made was I had a dog that was growling at people, right? And he didn't start doing it until he was probably about 3 years old. And what ended up happening was he had gone through the woods and he had a laceration on his side that had closed up, but I guess it got a little infected. And so you'd be petting him on that spot, and he would just start, like the little guttural growl they have.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, I would be correcting this dog, and come to find out, this dog had been scratched by a thorn running through the woods, and so my correction was wrong. I wasn't medically taking care of that dog the way he needed to be taken care of. So your dogs is essential with that, or with making corrections.
Yeah, and also, that was something that I missed out on though. Like each dog that I have, it teaches me. I literally learn from the dog too. More than I think the dog. I learn more from the dog than I think the dog learns from me.
Right. Yeah. Well, not all dogs can be trained. Not all dogs, just like not all dogs are game. Not all dogs will. The pit bull is very versatile. They can do all kinds of stuff, but not all of them can do all kinds of stuff. I've seen pit bulls. They ain't worth the shit catching hogs. Yeah. They ain't worth the shit killing raccoons. They ain't no good at it. So it's like anything else. You have to find the one that will do what you need it to do. And if it doesn't, you just find something else for it. And maybe it's a pet. Maybe it's good at something else. Facts. And that's with any breed. Even dogs within their own, whatever their function is. They're not good at it. So, those would be the ones that I would cull from my program, meaning I wouldn't breed those type of dogs. If they have a major fault, what I consider a major fault, I'm just not going to breed it. They may be good for competition. They may, and that's what I would use them. But for breeding, no, I'm not going to do it.
Well, what's your
So
opinion on this? I had a female named Celine, and I sent her with some local hog hunter boys, right? And they said she wouldn't hit a hog to save her life. She'd tuck her tail and go in, and everything. Well,
yeah,
then the next weekend I went and I got her out of the box and set her down, and she hammered that hog like she had always been doing it. And they were like, "What
yeah,
the heck?" And I was
yeah.
like,
Well,
I
that's a
mean, I
good
was
point too.
whispering some juju in her ear, you know what I mean? But at the same time, when I
Yeah,
set her down, she hammered it, and it was like, okay,
yeah.
I don't know whether or
Well,
not, you know.
it's the fact that it was you,
Yep.
and those people were different. They're strangers.
Yeah.
Some dogs are like that. They'll behave and act and perform a certain way with you, but you send them to someone else, and they won't.
Yep.
They won't
And
even start up, and it could be a winner. It could be something that's been schooled out. I'm talking in the past, of course, but they won't. And
yeah, but
and here's another example. We were on a hog hunt. I probably told this story before, right? And it was me and T.L. Williams. He had a bad knee. I'm old and fat, so they had caught this dog up on a hill, this hog up on a hill. And he goes, you want to go up there? I go, man, I ain't gonna go up there, climb that hill. I seen a bunch of hogs and all that hog hunts and all catch dogs. Well, it just so happened that they ended up rolling down with the hog, two dogs on a hog rolling down right at our feet. Right. So the way the hog hunters are, you're a dog man. They want to see what you can do. So they hand us some sticks. Break those dogs off the hog. They held the hog down. We broke them off.
Oh yeah.
And I was holding the dog like I normally do by the side of the scruff of the neck, by the side of the neck, in between my legs. And Terry had his dog. And the one I had started going after the dog, wanted to fight the dog. And the owner goes, man, that's crazy. He says, these dogs are raised together. They live together. They don't fight each other. And Terry tells the guy, that's all right. He goes, all dogs want to fight when Schoolboy handles them, And it was I think it was just the way I was holding her and what I was, the vibe I was giving her,
Do you
So
think that men have
they can
that?
behave different with different people.
Yeah.
Do you think certain men really do have that little bit of ability? Like when you put a dog in their hands, they turn up for some reason.
Elevator, you took the
Yeah.
question out of my mouth. You took the words out of my
Yeah.
mouth.
My buddy
I'll give you
Throwback.
I'll give you
Well,
another one. I'll give you another one.
My buddy
Guy in
Throwback
Mexico.
says that about me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen it. We've tested it. People at the dog shows gave me their dogs. I've walked them out there and they've stuck their hair up and growled for the first time the owner's ever seen it. I don't know
Mhm.
why. I guess it's just growing up with them.
Yeah, and they feel, that vibe, whatever it is, pheromones or whatever it is. So here's another example. There's a guy in Mexico, right? And I never seen him do it, but several people told me this guy can do that. Your dog can quit and he'll get it and make it scratch. And he has all his competition dogs that he uses, or this is back in the he used, right? They all live together. They all eat out in the same area. And these are dogs that he champions and all that stuff, one time winner, all this stuff. So dog whisperer, yeah, maybe, but he could do that. But that's the one thing they told me. Your dog could quit in the corner and he'll get that dog and he'll get it to scratch. Now I wasn't that good, but I've gotten to do all kinds of stuff. But it's just knowing dogs and the vibe you give, and they feel something, or however it is. It's just spending time, like you said, you bond with them. The bonding can take time, or it could be automatic. You put out this vibe to the dog that you really love and respect dogs, especially pit bulls, for what they do, and the dog will pick up.
Yeah.
So he might do a little something for you that he wouldn't do for someone else that don't really care about him.
those shy dogs hold a lot of secrets if you take your time
Yep.
and put your hands on them.
Facts.
Yeah, they do.
Brother Mike Dan in the building. What's good, Mike Dan? Another constant supporter,
Hey.
man. Salute,
Mike
man.
Dan the man. That's good people right there.
All right, y'all. I wanted to cook on this interview that I've had it for a while, and these dogs are very, very recognizable. This is the Grand Champion Funky Towns Action Jackson dog. Schoolboy, if you will lead us off, and then everybody who has any input, please go ahead and input. I got an Action Jackson story.
Okay, yeah, it looks like a Jeep Carver, Snooty, some Bully Sun in there, Chinaman. So it's a combination that works where there's Jeep Eli, Jeep Carver,
Yeah.
or even Hammonds with the Daibo blood down at the bottom. It's basically performance bred dogs that they put together, and then the end result is you can have a animal like that. And people look at it, there's a lot of commonality back there if you don't know the blood, and you see the same names coming up, like you have Jeep and Snooty a couple of times in there. You got Chinaman and Spike and all that. So it's dogs that have a common ancestors, plus it's bloodlines that you put together that have worked before.
Yeah.
And it's just an example. If you repeat what was done before, you can get good results. That's basically what I did. I never tried to reinvent the wheel. I took by studying all what past dogmen did, and I just did the same thing. The only difference is the names of the dogs change, the people's names change, but it's the same patterns that you repeat over and over.
Well, and every dog you just said in there is known to be a prepotent producer. They've all been producers.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, definitely.
They
all have. Most of them have their own bloodline. If it's not the dog, it's the breeder itself. Like Hammond, he's got his own bloodline. Chinaman has its own bloodline. Jeep has its own bloodline. Snooty has its own bloodline. Black Betty is off of Jeremiah, he was off of Bully Sun and Arch Missy. So that was their own bloodline too. And Carver is his own bloodline, So it's just, it almost has to work. If you use the right dogs, the whatever method of breeding you're using doesn't necessarily matter in that respect. As long as the dogs are good, they're going to work. Because every type of crossing, inbreeding, line breeding, mixing different bloodlines, this and that, it's already been done.
Yep.
The gene pool for the pit bull is not that big.
Yep.
So it when you're getting dogs, it matters more who you're getting them from and what they do with them than the pedigree. And if it turns out to be a good dog, that's where the pedigree kicks in. That's where the pedigree matters.
Yep.
So I'd heard a story about a grandson of Action Jackson, and this is what like why I have such an affinity for this dog. It was brought to North Carolina, and the Ballard brothers. They're a small group down in Lagoon. They had this dog, and it ended up killing a foal. It got into the pasture, and it grabbed a young horse by the neck, and it took it down. And I was like, man, there's a dog that can kill a horse. And when I saw the dog, I was like, man, this little brindle dog killed a horse. But they swore by it. So,
yeah.
When I heard it, I was like, man, like in my lifetime, and I've actually named the dog Action Jackson that I thought was gonna be, a super action like that, So
yeah. Well, if the dog got, I'm gonna be graphic, but just take it in context. If the dog got in the horse's throat, or he got underneath in the chest area, it's hard for a horse to get them off. They can buck, they can jump, they can run around and all that. But the dog, if he holds on, the horse is going to cause himself to be damaged just by moving and jumping and panicking. So yeah, it can be done. If you ever seen a staff or a pit bull take down a bull, all they do is grab them by the nose and they'll drop to their knees. That 800-pound bull will drop to its knees because that nose is so sensitive, and the dog will hold on. And that's what they used to do back in the day when they had, bear baiting and bull baiting and all that. And there again, it's the intelligence of the dog knowing where to bite the bull. Just like catch dogs, if they don't know how to control a hog, they're going to get killed. So the dog needs to get it on the hog's muzzle or on the ear, and he needs to dip low and put his weight on the head or the muzzle of the snout of the of the hog. If he starts trading with the hog, trading shoulders and attacking it like it's another dog, he's going to get killed.
Yeah.
So they have
Actually
to,
fighting
be, actually fighting it, because hogs will do that same thing. I've seen them fight pit bulls, and they grab and shake just like a dog does. They're trading shoulders. That because the hog is so big, and their tusks are so sharp and longer, they'll kill a dog. But a smart dog will get on top and control the hog.
These boys around here, what they're telling me they're liking out of my dogs is that they'll grab them by the ear, like lower ear and the side of the face, and they'll tuck their body up to their body. They'll stick their body along with the hog's body, and
exactly,
they'll hold that hog and they'll eventually pin it down themselves.
Yeah.
That's what they've
Because
been
the
telling
hog
me they
snout
like.
is longer, so it can't reach around to get the dog off because it's on the side of its head or ear.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes they'll grab the feet. Even if the hog swings it around, the dog's not going to let go. And eventually the hog will get wore down a little bit. Or generally what the hunters do, they run up and then they control the hog, you know, grab the back legs, throw it down. And the guys I know, what they would do is they'd catch them live. Sometimes they would kill them, but they catch them live, put them in a pen, and then feed them acorns and corn and sweeten them up. They butcher them later. And
Yeah,
then
add
wild
sweet
hogs
fat
are
to them.
mean. They're mean and they're fast and they're powerful. They're quick. You could be 20 feet away, and if you blink your eyes, they're going to be on you. That's how fast they are.
Well, and they're mean. They're like hard. They're forward aggressive. They're like
They're
offensive
nasty,
aggressive.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever seen one in a cage? They bang that cage around, and they don't care. It's steel. And they're banging around and trying to get out and bucking their head and stuff.
Yep.
Imagine them doing that to you. I had a friend who his friend went on a hog hunt, and the hog eviscerated him, and he had to put his innards back in his belly and drive himself to the hospital.
Oh God. Ooh.
Yeah, and you'll see these hunters, they wear the same camo or whatever they're wearing, and there's cuts all over their pant legs and their shirts where the hog try and get them, man. And they cut the coat.
They make chaps like the same stuff that's the vest, but you can wear them on your legs.
Yeah,
they make
Kevlar.
that stuff now. Yeah.
Yeah, most of the hog hunters I know, they didn't like the vest. It got in the way, right? And the protection is only down to their down to where their belly starts. So if a hog gets past them, he can still eviscerate the dog. But a lot of them don't like to use them because it hampers the movement of the dog. And like I said, if you have a good dog, he knows what to do. But it's dangerous either way. It's dangerous for the dog, and it's dangerous for the hunters too. And that's even with bullfighting. You know, people look at it and they go, "Oh, that's cruel, this and that." Well, those bulls are bred for that.
Yeah.
And the people that enjoy it, they like to see the skill and the heart of both the animal and the person. And every once in a while, the bull wins. Them bulls have killed matadors. They've injured them severely. So it's not just a one-sided thing. It's an art form for the people that enjoy it. I can understand it, you know.
Before they did it with just matadors, they used to do it with dog. Like a dog and a matador would fight the bull.
Yeah.
And then through time, the cruelty with the dogs getting killed, that means that a lot of dogs got killed. For them to get rid of it, it just went to the matador.
Well, yeah, I mean, you almost can't avoid it. Any sport, any type of work, physical work, somebody's going to get hurt at some point, or some animal's going to get hurt at some point.
Yeah. Look how many men's died in the boxing ring.
Yep. Yeah. And bullfighters. And, you know, the toughest sport to me, honestly, is bull riding. There ain't a bull rider that hasn't been injured in almost every part of their body. That's why they're all broke up and decrepit when they get older. They break their back, they break their neck, all their fingers.
Crippled.
Yeah. Yeah. So them guys are tough because, again, the bulls are so large and they're physical and they can hurt. They've been killed too.
Yeah.
And just like accidents at work, that can happen. So if you understand that going in, you accept it. If not, then you don't get involved in it. You don't have to like it. Somebody, for me, if they want to be a vegetarian or they want to save every animal on earth, that's their business. Do it. You know, rescue everything that you can if that's what you like to do. But I take issue when they come at me for doing something that's natural with an animal or something that I'm using for a purpose, whether it's food. People talk about, you know, how do you dispatch animals? It's cruel the way you kill them. There ain't no nice way to kill an animal. The only thing you can do is do it as fast as possible and as clean as possible when you're butchering animals. That's it. I mean, what are you going to do different? It's just a method of what you're using.
If you're doing it fast, humane, and you're eating it, then there ain't absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Nope.
I don't see it.
Hey, so Brother Hemi James had asked a question about the dog that's on the screen now. Bama Red, he said, did anybody have any stories about it? And that's for the chat and for the panel. And then Mike Dan, while I'm getting my thoughts together, Mike Dan said he used to work at a hog plant while y'all talking about the hogs. And I did too. I worked at Carolina Food Smithfield. And I'm telling you, the hogs, before they killed them, the ones that would be in the kill pens, they would sit out there. And the lady that wrote our checks, her name was Cheryl. And I swear to nuns, man, pigs can imitate other noises. He said the pigs that he was around were barking. But the pigs, when I went to get my check, the pigs be screaming, Cheryl, Cheryl. you know, because we always call Cheryl, where my check at? Cheryl, where my check?
Yeah. They can do that, you know.
Hey, I'm finna go get me and my son a haircut. I'm gonna jump up off here, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of the panel, man.
Okay, man. Okay, man.
All right.
Peace. Yeah, I mean, it's just you almost can't escape it. Being involved in animals some way.
Yeah.
And if you take good care of them and you don't abuse them, you know, they have a function, and that's what they're used for.
Well, like,
I mean, you take North Carolina. There were people packing stuff in, you know, after the disaster on horses and mules.
Yeah, I'm right here next to that.
You can't go up there with a vehicle. You can't go up there with a helicopter.
No, people don't understand the terrain up here. It's hardcore. You can't walk it.
Man.
You ain't gonna.
No.
You like you say, your kids run 10 miles and stuff. There ain't 10 miles you can run around here that's straight and flat that you could do it without dying.
Yeah. And then, I mean, how many people would you need to pack in supplies compared to one horse or one mule?
Yeah.
You probably need 5 people to do the same job, and they're slower because they only have 2 legs, and they're gonna, you know, half of them are gonna fall out because they ain't used to it. You got to go up the hill and down the hill and through brush.
That one guy had
seven.
That one guy had like 7 to 9 mules, and he was packing stuff into Chimney Rock. Chimney Rock got destroyed. Swannanoa got destroyed. All these areas over here. Asheville got destroyed.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
And people want to get rid of horses and mules and all that.
No, they're important.
You know. Yeah, I mean, they'll always have a use. They ain't gonna be popular like they used to be because we have vehicles, but they have their use. And you know, there's all kinds of sporting events with not just horse racing, but there's cutting events. There's different rodeos, you know, events with horses. There's barrel racing and, you know, bronco riding and all that. It's just nostalgia, and it gives the animal a purpose in life. That's what they're bred to do. That's what they enjoy doing, and a lot of them are good at it.
Horses would probably be more used if we had less asphalt roads.
Yeah,
honestly.
True.
They probably would, because it's hard to ride them on asphalt roads. It tears them down. Their joints and ligaments.
Not only that, they got a metal.
You have to switch their shoes out for. So I think they do make rubber shoes for the road, though. I believe they do.
Like a hard plastic, because they'll slip on it.
Yeah,
you know?
It's probably like nylon, like the brake sticks.
Yeah, and it's hard on their body because they don't walk naturally. They clop along, you know, because they're trying to stay balanced. If you see a dog, if you see a horse walking in the street, and then you see it walking out in the field, it's a different walk.
Yep. And their natural speed is faster than you're going to want to ride it down the road.
That's right. That's right.
So they're trying to go to the speed you want them to go to. So it is harder on them. It's
Yeah.
that's the same thing as using the email and not running them fast enough on it. If you put them
Yeah.
slow on it, you'll wear their joints out. But if you put them at that gate, they'll get to running at a nice
Yeah.
speed, like that dog right there, and they'll just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Pretty weird.
Yep. Yeah. And that's all goes back to, you pay attention to the dog, watch the dog, practice, 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 see what works, see what don't, see what they like and what they don't like. And there's a lot to it. It's a lifelong effort, but there's dog men been with dogs for 50, 60, 70 years. We're always going to be involved in them some way if you love the animals.
Most people, I
And
think, I've noticed that get out of the dogs, it's within the first 3 to 5 years. If they
yep,
get
5 years
in,
is
and
the average. Yep.
yeah, yeah. If you can pass 5 years, you'll be in it for a long time because it just
You'll probably
becomes your
stay.
lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if you get out, you're going to come back in. But
Oh,
if you don't make that 5 years, you're probably done with
Yep.
it.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people that happened to.
Past that 5 years, though, the dogs become your whole lifestyle versus
Yeah, yeah, pretty
trying to make them
much.
fit your life.
Yeah,
It
pretty
changes.
much.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey team,
And if you,
I'm gonna go ahead and start rounding it up. Y'all go ahead and finish that statement, Schoolboy. But after that, y'all should start passing the mic around because I can hear my household waking up inside the building.
all right. No, I was just gonna say if you have family members, you have friends, then you can take a little vacation and you can go take care of what you have to do. If you're by yourself, even just you and your family, sometimes that's hard because they need care every day.
Yep.
So that's what we used to do. A friend he'd go on vacation, I take care of his dogs. I go on vacation, he take care of my dogs. So
Yep.
if you have that, that's important.
Yeah. I don't really have anybody here that I could trust like that.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, that's close
It's
to me.
hard.
Throwback
hard.
is 2 hours away from me, so
Yeah.
that kind of limits that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And a lot of times, if you leave, I've said this before. You leave, you take a dog with you. We should take them to everywhere we go, even to Disneyland. Take one dog just for the ride, just to get them used to it, or go to the store.
Schoolboy with a bulldog at Disneyland. That's
yeah.
It don't get more American than that, huh?
Yeah. I probably told this story. I'll say it again real quick. So I took Big Red, and that was after his career was over. He was older. I took him there. We went to the kennel, and I told the girl, just put him in the kennel. Don't take him out. Leave him there. He's fine. He's gone to the bathroom. He's ate. He's used to it. He'll sit there for hours. It's no big deal. So we get done with Disneyland. I come back, and the girl has him outside, and she's petting him outside the kennel. She's petting him. I'm like, oh, shit, And I go, I told you, how come you took him out? I told her he didn't need to come out. She goes, well, he was lonely, He gave me sad eyes, so I took him out. I pet him. He's a nice dog. And then she noticed all the scars on his face and muzzle and head and all that. She goes, how come he has those scars? What happened to him? I said, oh, he fell down. She goes, oh, okay. He goes, oh, okay, yeah. That's when people didn't know what pit bulls were. That's
Most
it. Go
of the
ahead,
little
Jay.
scars mine got like that is from small game.
Yeah.
People don't realize how resilient a raccoon is.
Raccoons will tear you up, and they'll curse some dogs out.
Yeah,
They
if you
will.
want to find out your dogs are good, put them on a raccoon. Give it a fair chance.
See what happens. Yeah.
It's legal to do it in season of hog hunt or coon hunting.
Yeah.
That way it's legal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. I'm gonna pass my rounds around. Make sure y'all plug y'all stuff, whatever you got, and then we'll shut it down here, man, with a Christian watchword.
All right. Anybody want to get a hold of me for registering dogs or books, sporting dog journals, sticks, T-shirts, memorabilia, all kinds of stuff? Just contact me on Facebook Messenger or my email, richardjschoolboy60 at gmail.com or on Instagram. And I handle everything personally. If you send me a message, I'm going to respond. It may take me a while, but I will. I try and respond to every message I get, just like on my channel. If you want to watch my videos, if you put a comment there, I'm going to respond to it. I'll get around to it. I think it's only right. If someone is talking to you, that you answer them back.
And you always do. You really do.
I do. Man.
Schoolboy. Did y'all? They said they used to have a good time at your house back in the day. Historically speaking, can you give the Bulldog community, you and your wife, put that cookbook together for us?
Yeah, I'm working on it. Believe it or not, I'm working on it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I got a bunch of recipes. I make my own salsa. I make my own barbecue sauce. I make my own. What else? Well, I have different recipes for all kinds of food because we also do catering. So we've catered for the military, for the Catholic diocese, for weddings, funerals, birthday parties, handicapped people. Me and my wife, by ourselves, can take care of feeding and servicing, putting everything out, setting up 200 people by ourselves.
Man. Yeah.
That's what happened when you just turned 21, Mr. Garcia.
That's what happened. That's what happened. You already know. You seen that picture of me and her there?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
With the tubes on and all that. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, she's 18 there. I'm 21. She looked like she's 12 years old, man. She's a tiny. We already had kids. We already had one kid,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to get off.
Yeah, man. But no, thank you for coming through, Mr. Garcia, man. Elevated, Big A, Big Hill. Make sure y'all plug in y'all stuff, man.
Yeah, it's your boy Big A, man. Next time we gonna be here live, man. We got the season 2 coming up. It's gonna be live, man. Stay tuned.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Big Hill fam. You can catch me rolling with my brother, Samurai Family, Shogun Army, or you can catch me over at the Big Hill fam YouTube.
Yes, sir. Elevated Kennels, you can get me on Facebook. It's got all my links to my YouTube, TikTok. Hit me up March 10th around there for my magazine. It's gonna drop, the Show Dog Journal. So there's Schoolboy's got an article in it. It's worth getting.
Yes,
I wish you all the best with that. The more literature we put out, the more history.
People are gonna like this. I'll send you a video of what it's looking like right now. You and Andre.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Schoolboy, I needed to ask you a question off of, outside of here, when you
okay.
get a chance.
Yeah, I'll hang on.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate all my brothers that came through, everybody who's going to watch in the future, like, follow, subscribe, and share. Like, literally, I think the most underutilized thing is sharing. There's a lot of things I talk about that may not interest you, but you probably know somebody that it interests. We're trying to build a community here. So share my brothers, and everybody that shares, it costs you nothing. It's free. But for all y'all who know, but when we leave the show, I like to leave y'all with a Christian watchword. It's just good blessings and positivity on your life. So those of y'all who are so inclined to pray with me, pray with me. If you're not inclined to pray with me, please leave. I do not want to. I don't want to push my religion on you, but I want to share. I want to share the light that I have with you. All right. So if you will, please bow your head and pray with me. May the Lord watch between you and me while we are absent, one from another. Amen.
Amen.
Until next time, y'all. For the love of the dogs.
For the love of the game.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Yes.